Gbamone genti ayekene unu ọzọ ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Anyị si unu ka nke onye chiri ya zelu. Anyị si na adịrị na mma na ihe adịka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Edikwulisi na-esoro anyị na-eme dị iche iche n'iru akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24 ebe anyị si wee na-ewetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasata maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya. Dịka o si wee dị, ewetara unu nnukwu update n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa. Tata bụ 3rd of January 2025. Biafra gets UN award as leading emerging nation of the world. Hear the news in details.
Biafra is, of course, a charter member of the Organization of Emerging African States and was, as usual, leading the way for liberation from neo-colonialism in Africa by coming together with the two other charter members, Southern Cameroons and Kabila, to form that organization, which has now grown much larger. Dr. Akwanga, the Secretary General, Professor Akwanga, who could not be here today, he's up in northern Ghana, he sends his regards to Prime Minister. In consultations with him, it is a revelation to the Organization of Emerging African States that again Biafra shows the initiative to hold itself referendum, because of course in the past we always asked Nigeria to hold the referendum. And of course, that's a mistake. 3 times Nigeria has been asked, even more times by others. And now the technology and initiative exists, so we have the ability to hold a referendum that, in my opinion, and in the opinion of the Organization of Emerging African States, will meet all international law standards. Because of course, we're using digital and local methods. The referendum can be verified, and it will be the will of the people. And Biafra, again, leads the way in Africa with this. So under international law, referendum is by and large, of course, is the preferred method to achieve independence, because then there's no question about what the people want. Once this referendum is finished and results announced, they will be binding under international law. Biafra, if it's the will of the people, if the republic is to be restored, then that is what will happen. The Organization of Emerging African States will be one of the first to congratulate and certify the results of that referendum, and as I believe other international organizations must do so also. For example, several years ago, an inquiry was made to the European Union by the OES on behalf of Biafra, what their opinion was about the situation and holding a referendum. The external service of the European Union said, of course, we support all ways of achieving self-determination recognized by international law. And of course, the premier way to do this is the referendum. So again, there's no question. I think if you ask anybody, a well-coordinated referendum meets all requirements of the
Hello, good evening, viewers. This is Satellite Media. I must say very thank you for all your time, having taken your time out of your time schedule to watch our videos. But let us quickly look at a very important issue this morning that has to do with emerging nations of the world. We understand that from the video you just watched, the Biafra seem to be leading in that regard, talking about emerging nations of the world. Remember that currently the issue that has to do with self-determination is already settled, both in Nigeria and globally, because we understand that Nigeria is a signatory to a UN charter that talks about self-determination, and it has been ratified. That convention has been ratified in Nigeria. So to that extent, self-determination is a right in Nigeria as we speak. Now looking at the issue of, that is why people have advocated that the right thing to do if Nigeria is to have a peaceful coexistence is to organize a referendum to actually determine who want to stay and who want to go. And it is not a matter of pride, it's not a matter of grandstanding. We all saw what transpired in UK when we were talking about Brexit. Of course, everybody was not for Brexit. We saw some people who were against Brexit, some were for Brexit. But the important thing is that the minority had their say and the majority had their way. But at the end of the day, they succeeded in pulling out of the European Union. So currently, we have a situation where some people are saying we are not satisfied with the status quo in Nigeria. We want our own sovereign state. Talking about Biafra this time around. No, Biafra is not alone in this. We have seen the lives of Sunday drumming support or raising issue of Oduduwa Republic. The other time he was looking to submit later to the office of the Prime Minister of United Kingdom. The bottom line is, once we are going about it in a way that is not destroying lives and property, in a way that is in accordance to the law, I think we have not offended, we would have offended any law, whether locally or internationally. But at this point, just like some prominent Nigerians have said, talking about someone like Professor Wole Shenka, who have repeatedly said it, that Biafra is an ideology. And that if you want to address it, it must be from that ideological point of view. But unfortunately, we are seeing Nigerian government using brute force, using sledgehammer in what can be regarded as using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. But the point is, it is very clear that the brute force, the hounding, the arresting, the intimidation is not helping the situation, is not rather stopping the agitation, rather it's even embodying more people to sign on to the ideology for that sovereign state of Biafra. So I think the best bet for government is to even provide a roundtable for conversation. If the roundtable leads into the referendum, of course the government should go and ventilate the opinion. Those who want to go should go and ventilate the opinion. At the end of the day, I think the majority will carry the day. That is the beauty of referendum. It is not something that anyone will compel anybody to say yes, I want to go, or I don't want to go. Eventually, when it's conducted, I think people will not have the opportunity of deciding whether they want to remain in the country or not. Then again, looking at the arrest and detention of the man Nnamdi Kanu, and this is a new year, and people have spoken so much about it. Even Nnamdi Kanu himself has said that if he's released, that give him 2 years or even 2 years, that the problem of insecurity in the country will be a thing of the past. Though someone like the governor of Anambra recently said that the release of Nnamdi Kanu may not end insecurity in the southeast, but beyond what she would have said, I think every stakeholder in that region have come out to say, release this man as a panacea for peace in that region. We are seeing the lives of senators from the region under the leadership of Senator Iyanya Abaribe. The other time, meeting with the Attorney General of the Federation, telling the federal government why the release of Nnamdi Kanu is a necessity. We have always seen minority caucus in the Federal House of Representatives coming together and imploring federal government, particularly the office of the president or the federal government of Nigeria, to see how they can release the man Nnamdi Kanu as a panacea for peace in the southeastern part of the country. The other time we saw someone like Senator Nnamdi, that is a senator representing Delta North Senatorial District in the Nigerian Senate, coming out clearly to say, yes, if you arrest Samanekpa, that 100,000 Samanekpa will emerge. We have seen Samanekpa's arrest recently, though he is still in Finland, he is not extradited to Nigeria. But shortly immediately he was arrested, we saw the emergence of somebody like Dr. Ngozi Orabuze, and currently we are seeing tussle as to who is the actual leader of the agitation, because currently Ogokiri is still laying claim to that position, but it's not clear who is actually leading. I don't think I have the authority to start talking about who is leading and who is not leading, but the bottom line is the arrest of Samanekpa is not deterring people to say we want our sovereign state. So I think the government should look beyond arrest. The government should look beyond harming, intimidating, prosecution of agitators. I think they should look towards conversation. They should look towards roundtable discussion. They should look towards providing a roundtable for conversation. I mean, not going to bring everybody on board and see how we can chat with the way forward. There is a saying that you don't continue doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. At least Nigerian government have been doing this approach of hounding, intimidating, arresting, prosecuting. I think by now they would have seen that it's not deterring people who are agitating for their own sovereign state. I think we should think out of the box. We should look at the other way and see whether a roundtable conversation will bring an end to this. Don't forget that this is not the first time we are seeing agitation. Even, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria talking about Olusegun Obasanjo echoing the other day that even in the past the Lord shouted Araba, meaning divide. So you can clearly see that the issue of agitation, the issue of the quest to secede did not start from the Igbos, or rather Biafra did not have actually gone that path that in the past. So who knows tomorrow who will rise and say we want our sovereign state. But the bottom line is it has been established, whether locally or internationally, self-determination is a right, not a crime. But the only thing that is a crime is when you go about it through wanton destruction of lives and property. I don't think there's any law that supports wanton destruction of life and property, whether locally or internationally. Of course, Nigerian laws frown at it, all UN known conventions frown at it, all UN known laws globally, conventionally frowns at it. So the best bet is, even if you see that dissatisfied with Nigerian situation, you want your sovereign state, you must comport yourself with the ambits of the law to address it. Thank you very much for your time. This is Satellite Media and I'm Mr. Matu. I will say thank you and have a wonderful and blessed 2025. Thank you very much. And Satellite Media and Mr. Matu and this is Satellite Media.
All right, thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your time for joining us at Eastern News 24. All right, what do you have to say concerning the point our brother made in the statement? Quote, Biafra get UN award as leading emerging nation of the world. All right, we are going to leave you people. I got on it.